it.
You don't get these results without putting in this kind of work.
Aries, come.
And you can't expect your dog to do this if you didn't take the time to build that. Leash handling is one of the most important and most overlooked skills you need as a dog handler. It's how you communicate and how you set expectations. A lot of the dog owners I work with have been through multiple training programs, and they still struggle to communicate effectively with their dogs. Why is that? Because a lot of training programs skip the most important step, owner education. On today's episode, you'll see how Kalani's owners learn to troubleshoot behavior when obedience fails. Let's get into it. Free. Had a girl. Good. So we'll dive right into you handling her, then you handling her. We'll put her on place. I'm gonna have Kevin showcase the obedience of where she's at. We'll do the muzzle, and then we'll have you guys handle her, do some reps, okay? But how much quicker was that compared to the last two times?
Oh my gosh, right?
So it's still a little bit of sass and communication, but
Right. But I mean, that's because we're here.
right. And you're not giving her the attention she wants.
That's what she's looking
Right.
for. Even my voice. Right?
As soon as you talk, right. And so this is what I mean by old habits. What's that?
I mean, and you want to keep it. You know that
Quiet.
once you do that, right?
So there I boosted her. Did you see that?
Did you?
Yep.
Is that what that?
That she shook it off and then laid down. It's on 5. So she got hit on 10.
Okay.
Good. This is what I mean by old habits die hard.
Right.
It's going to take multiple times of her seeing it, feeling it, experiencing it, going through it until she finally goes, okay.
Right.
And so this is going to be the new norm, right? This is when I say, what does your dog default to? This is what I'm talking about. I want her to default to this. When you're stressed, when you're in conflict, you're anxious, default to this behavior. This solves all your problems. Ready, Bill? And so you're on your own with the leash handling, but I'm here with the e-collar in case I need help.
Did you correct that or not?
Well, so that's what I was thinking, right? Is in the context of it, it's displacement, she's delaying the inevitable. If she does it again, interrupt it. Not correct, interrupt, So interruptions are more like guided corrections, where you're guiding the dog back to where you want him. A correction is knock it the fuck off. Does that make sense?
It does.
Just a subtle difference.
Right. And then by, what was the word? Not correction, the other one.
Guided?
Oh, interrupt.
Oh, interrupt, yeah.
Do you use the,
You could, just, but like, right? Like a little tug, 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 tug versus a pop.
got it,
That's more of a correction, that's more punitive, that's bad.
right.
The guided correction, hey, knock that shit off, enough. Right, interrupt it, there you go, that's it. There you go. Don't move your foot away. Yep, scoot, there you go. Have her respect your space. So the next time she does that, I'll pair your correction with the e-collar. So I'll work off of you. And this is why I'm saying I don't think we're going to need to have that moment anymore. Because now we have the e-collar.
Right, okay. Yeah, see, I was wondering about that, right?
We've had plenty of those moments. It was 2 or 3 maybe. Interrupt it. We've had those moments already with her where she doesn't need it. Now the e-collar is that moment for her. But good to have it just in case. I'd rather you have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And again, the reason I'm having you do this is because when you're at home and you have guests, this is going to be the same scenario. One of you handles while one of you entertains. You wait for her to settle. Then you would move her over to place, wait for her to settle. Then you would either put her away or let her say hello if you feel comfortable. And saying hello doesn't always mean meet and greet. Sometimes saying hello is just, there it is. Sometimes saying hello is just interacting, being part of the situation.
Right.
And then when she's cool, all right, then put her away. Right? These are just layers of calm, relaxed behaviors. We want to associate when somebody's here, not excitement, not overstimulation, not over-arousal. Are you happy with this settle? Do you feel like she's calm, cool, collected? Or do you feel like she needs to wait a little bit longer?
I think she's calm.
What do the ears tell you?
What?
She's almost there, but you could, the ears pinned back and the panting, as soft as it is, see the tail wag a little bit, see that? Sniffing. So these are all the little subtle body cues that will tell you what's on her mind. Ats. So there I corrected with the e-collar and the verbal, interrupt. There it is. Do you see the difference? Mm-hmm. There, the ears are still pinned back, but that was a decision that she made. Okay, go ahead, switch. You mean lower the chair when you get on it? Yeah. There you go. Bring her back in the box. And nonverbal, only ots when you need to. Good. Put your right thumb through the handle of the leash. Remember, that's your anchor point. Bring her back. Yep, good. There you go. Disengage. That hard stare there, that's attention-seeking behavior. She's hoping you'll look down at her. That's, yeah. The biggest hurdle to get over with Kalani is learning how to handle. Leash handling is the biggest skill set that's required to be able to properly handle a dog like this, because you have to constantly counter all her little movements, all her little microaggressions, all her avoidance behaviors. This is fine, let it play out because of what she just chose to do. I don't mind the behaviors as long as they lead to something productive. If allowing her to do this leads to her popping back up, jumping in your lap, running away, then I will interrupt that. The reason I had Bill do it is because I wanted to be, again, more direct. So, yep, that's fine to interrupt. But see, now as a result, she popped up. So this is why we have to balance it, right? We have to balance and pick and choose what battles we want to fight with her. For me, her overall demeanor with you is very good. It's very balanced. She is more calm than not. She's not as hyped up as she was with Bill. So with Bill, I had him address it and correct it, interrupt that pattern. With you, I'm kind of being a little bit more lenient. That last one where she kind of disengages, turns away, yeah, no, don't do that. If she's just sniffing in front of her to eventually lay down and settle, okay, I'll give you that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And you learn that through trial and error. There's no A, B, C way to go about it. You kind of just have to know behavior and know what you're looking for. Right there, she thought, yep. But see, right there, she thought about it. She thought about it, paused, and then laid down. So that's a self-correction. But she's still kind of sniffing behind her. Just let it play out. Good. That's good. Okay. You see she's calm, she's cool. So you'll walk over to place, tell her place.
Place.
Good. Drop the leash. With your hand, go place. And then go have a seat.
With the way that she is between me and Bill, right? So you had said something about her being more calm to me. Is that because he went first? And then conversely, if I had handled her first, got her calm, then she would have been calmer with him and not as jumpy?
Out of the two of you, when I'm handling her in the settle, out of the two of you, who does she want more?
Who does she want more? Because...
Just because of your history. Because with you, because the way you described it to me, the relationship is she listens to Bill more than she listens to you. Is this correct?
Yeah.
She's more intimidated, respectful of him than by you. Okay, so you're associated as the fun, cool mom. He's associated as the hard ass, that I can't get away with things. So when I'm here, she wants you more than the two of you. When I handed her over to Bill, it was a much more mild version of how she reacts with me, but she still wanted you. The reason she was calmer with you is because she finally had you. She was there. And she still wasn't getting what she wanted. So then she was like, oh. It's kind of like when you go watch a movie that you're expecting to be good and it sucks. You're kind of like, oh. Right? Does that make sense now? That's why the behavior was calmer with you. That's why you were able to get the settle quicker. Because she went through all two, both of us, and then got to you and was like, oh, this is what I was acting out for? Okay, I'll just lay down. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, like I said, when you go back home post-training and you have people come over, especially ones she's met before, she's going to act more like that towards them, like she is with you, right? She's going to be that excited and stimulated, but you're going to be handling her. So that's where you have to work her through all the same stuff. Questions about that?
No.
Okay. All right. Do you need the e-collar for the, sorry, what was that?
It comes down to being able to read her.
Yes.
And because I get, you don't want to correct her for every little thing.
Right.
She's a dog. She's smelling in front of her.
Right.
Exactly. It's not a dictatorship. It's not like don't move a freaking inch.
Right.
Just as long as these don't lead to other problematic behaviors or it's counterproductive to the session we're having, yeah, let it happen. Well, what's the benefit there?
Right.
There's no rhyme or reason for it. Let her do it. as long as she comes to the conclusion that I want her to come to. Now, if it leads to more things, that's where I'm gonna go, okay, I can't let you do that.
Yeah, okay.
Like on the 6 foot, kind of how we do it, it's a lot easier. So her working level is 5, right? So I'm just gonna kind of let her get distracted. I'm gonna stem, Kalani, come, off. The moment she commits, the pressure's off. And then also, she comes into like a sit stay, and she doesn't get released until I tell her.
So that's a big factor right there. Reward does not equal release. Just because I paid you with the treat does not mean you are dismissed. So the expectation is you disengage from the thing I'm recalling you from, you come to me and you sit. You sit until I release you. Not when you get paid, when I say, okay, you're free.
Yeah, so like also whenever you're working on this, if she is like completely engaged with you and you recall her, it's not really the best rep. You wanna do the recall whenever like she's actively engaged on something else.
Right, so what he's saying is you're not gonna recall your dog when they're looking at you and paying attention.
Right,
You're gonna recall them when they're fucking off doing something they're not supposed to do.
right.
So you wanna kind of organically allow that to happen. So Kev, if you walk towards me, I'll kind of entice her. Puppy, 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 little puppy baby. Wave. So even there you can still tell she's very much engaged with him. Now when I do these distractions, I don't want to be unfair and say her name or say a command, because then it's just unfair. I'm getting, I'm listening to you and then I'm getting corrected. So I'm talking more like, I'm talking more like what a random person that sees a dog would do, right? Oh my God, you're such a pretty baby. And I'm also proofing that as a distraction, because the next time she hears it, she'll go, oh yeah, no, I'm supposed to ignore that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I'm gonna show y'all again. Try to get her to commit.
She's scary smart.
Baby, puppy, baby, baby. Hey, hey, boo, 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 boo.
Kalani, come. Yes, good girl.
And the big thing is once she stops interacting with me and goes to him, I can't keep going.
Right.
Because then it's conflict, it's a little contradicting. So
Let me see if she'll do it with me. Or no.
let's save it for outside. Yeah, let's save it for outside.
Kalani, come. Yes, good.
Because that's a whole nother layer. There's a lot of motivation to go to you because you're the owner. You see all the behavior she does to try to get to you here. Okay, so just we want to be a little bit fair. Towards the end,
Unfair to.
it is. Towards the end, it's not going to matter, right? You're going to come regardless of what it is. But right now, this is the first time she's seeing the picture with you here.
Oh, got it.
Does that make sense? So we want to keep it as fair as possible. We don't want to make it remedial or too easy. However, I don't want to make it extremely difficult and challenging to the point where she fails.
Right. Got it.
Also, whenever you're doing this, it's really gonna help you and the dog. Whenever you recall her, like while she's still learning, to back up a little bit, because that's just kind of like a body language cue that invites the dog in. Whenever you're recalling the dog and you're standing really tall, you're like holding your posture, that repels the dog. But when you drop your posture and give them some space, it invites the dog.
Right.
So what he's talking about is spatial pressure. The same way you use spatial pressure to back a dog up, you can use spatial pressure to invite a dog in.
Okay.
So-
So what I've done in the backyard to get her to come to me is, if she's, let's say she's across the yard, I'll do this.
Mhm.
But I won't back up, but I do get down. But then when she comes to me, it's,
Yeah. So this is why we back up, because we want to encourage. We want to
okay.
invite her in. So hey, free her and let me pet on her, love on her. Whenever you see she's really good, then you can do a recall.
Okay.
Hey, pretty. What's up, mamas? Who's your pretty girls?
Kalani, come.
she knows.
She knows. Yeah.
She knows.
She's super smart.
Yes, she is.
Really
But this should show you she's 100% capable of being obedient.
Yeah.
So when she isn't, fuck that.
Right.
Yeah. And so this is what happens when you do recall too much with a dog that's too smart. They become a Velcro dog. So when you do practice your recalls, quality over quantity. I don't need you to do 75 recalls. Do 3 to 5 recalls that are good, high quality, end it on a good note while the dog is still engaged, still excited about coming to you. And this is the mistake I see people make with recall. You have to pay your dog every single time they come. Because what you are asking is for the dog to give up their genetic instinct, their predatory drives, or just the liberty of being out doing what they enjoy and come back to you. If you're gonna expect them to do that reliably, then you need to build value in coming back to you. The other mistake that I see people make, the dog blows them off, they don't recall, you get mad and frustrated because you feel embarrassed, you have to go chase the dog. Dog finally comes back to you, and then they correct the dog for coming back to them. Don't go back there. Exactly. So even if your dog blows you off, be mad all you want when they're away from you, but the moment they decide to come back, that's right, that's a good girl, I'm gonna fuck you up later. You know? But in that moment,
I have said that.
yeah. In that moment, they gotta know they did a good job if you want that recall to be good.
Right. Yep.
Questions about that? Makes sense, right? Okay. Go ahead.
To what Lisa asked about seeing if she'd do it with her, we're sitting here. She didn't pay us.
She could have gone to you,
She could have gone to us. So
but she was more invested in Kevin
right.
because of the reward history and the value that we've built around there. She was even like, screw you, Daniel, Kevin. So, and that's what I want.
Right.
That's what a well-trained dog looks like.
Absolutely.
I don't give a shit about you. My owner's talking to me.
Right.
Have you seen her on the treadmill? Have we shown you?
Yes, and we're thinking about getting them.
But have you seen it in person?
No.
So we'll always use 2 leashes just to be able to control and steer her.
After about like 1.8 miles an hour, she kind of struggles and hangs back. Or I mean, any faster than 1.8, she kind of struggles. So 1.8 is like her sweet spot. 10 to 15 minutes.
Low and slow, like a crock pot. And this is really good because for the anxious dog, it gives them something else to focus on rather than the anxiety or, whatever emotions they may be feeling in that moment. This will help clear her mind. It's also mentally stimulating. You get physical stimulation in the form of exercise. There's also confidence building because this is a man-made device. They wouldn't feel this in their natural lives. If you guys ever been to the airport and gone on a skywalk, you get on and you're kind of like, whoa. So it's a very similar feeling that they go through.
Well, that was always my, for the exercise part. Summers in Texas, they suck, right? And no matter how early in the morning you try to walk her, right, it's still freaking hot. So I was hoping that she could get on the treadmill.
Yeah, no, she does great on it.
Yeah, this actually, that makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do this 2-3 times a day, 15 to 30 minutes a time. That's better than any walk you can go on. And you also don't have to worry about all the stray dogs that you encounter.
Oh, yeah.
Because here's the news, like my dogs, I don't take them for walks at all. But I also have a property they can run around on and do stuff.
Right.
But if you have this in lieu of going for the walk's not as important. Maybe you could drive somewhere that's nice and do a walk at a park and then drive home on the weekends, right, when you have the time.
Right.
During the week, you just do the treadmill for conditioning, for exercise.
Yep.
And you don't have to go and spend thousands of dollars. Like this is it's a NordiTrack, it's expensive. I bought it for $200 off Facebook Marketplace.
I've been looking on Facebook Marketplace. It's like,
The cheapest, I got a Gold's Gym one for $75.
yeah, I've seen them from $70 to $200.
So just make sure that the belt is good, because that's the number one thing. That's why I replaced this one, because the belt got torn and it started shifting. The belt needs to be good on it, but as long as it goes up to 3 miles an hour, and if you want to add an incline, make it a little bit harder, you could.
She's scared. What's going on?
I'll slow it down a little bit. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Any questions, comments, concerns here?
I love it.
Okay.
Absolutely love it.
For the leashes, these are 4-foot leashes. Biothane, I can send you the link on where to get them, but that's about the length that I want. A 6-foot would be too long, she would come off the treadmill. Any shorter than 4 feet, she would be too far up front.
Also, whenever I'm getting her off, she's only allowed to come out through the front. And I like to leave the leash on for about 15 seconds before I release her, just because whenever they start to see the leash, they'll start to forge forward.
Remember, reward does not mean release. Me putting the leash on you does not mean you're free. Me coming to you on place to get the leash does not mean I'm releasing you. That's all anticipation, impulse control. So we want to continue practicing that skill everywhere we can, in the crate, on the treadmill, on place.
Yep, same principles apply everywhere.
Good girl. There you go.
And then this is where I typically have her decompress, and then we'll get to work after like 5 minutes.
Yeah, let her go, put her up, let her chill out for 5-10 minutes. So it's just about the clarity in the behavior.
Kalani, come. Yes. See how that rep was so much cleaner?
Yeah.
She knows it's her car.
Yes, she does. Oh, she does. Look at that. She knows.
Yeah.
I've actually really enjoyed doing recall with her because she's so good at it. Kalani, come.
So, and it's on 5, right?
Yes. Or 6? I put
5.
it 5? Okay. So even in that moment where she looked away, he waited till she checked back in with him.
Right.
I always want the dog engaged with me, focus on me. This is part of that permission-based movement we talk about. You want to do something, you got to look at me and I'll tell you, yeah, go ahead, or no, do this instead.
She's really been enjoying the freedom too.
With the long leash.
Yes.
Yeah.
She does well.
She's not doing that bullshit either anymore where she's getting wrapped around.
Oh, she doesn't?
No. Yeah.
I noticed that every 30 or 45 seconds she's looking back at Kevin to make sure it's still okay.
So that recall was a little bit less enthusiastic, right? That's what happens when you do it so often.
Right.
When it starts to get that way, you got 1 or 2 recalls left before you got to stop and put the dog up.
Okay.
Because I don't want to end when it looks like that. I want to end when it looks enthusiastic and she's in it. She might have to poop. Yeah.
Still solid?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, no issues after the grooming, after that initial week.
And Daniel, is she still eating good?
Yeah.
Twice?
She eats all her meals.
Okay.
You should have enough food next week.
Yes.
I counted correctly.
Yeah, we have plenty of the fresh pets still. There's still some cans left. Had no issues with her eating.
Okay, good.
No issues resource guarding, nothing like that. Everything's been good.
You know, it's really weird because I don't know why at home she just... mealtime was such a struggle with her. She'll sniff the bowl and walk away.
Well, I think using the 30-day reset, she gets fed here, right?
Right.
5 minutes to eat, then the bowl gets taken away.
5 minutes?
Yep. There was also too much lack of structure and there's no boundaries and there was no respect and she didn't eat because she knew, I mean, you guys were putting cheese on top of her food.
Cheese.
Right.
I mean, we put stuff on there to entice her and that probably...
Here's the thing I always tell people. Dogs eat poop and trash. They are not capable of starving themselves.
Right.
If they're hungry, they're gonna eat.
And that's what Bill had
he keeps trying to tell me that. I think it's when our first Mel, towards the end, when she stopped eating.
Boost. There you go. So I don't know if you saw, there was something there, a squirrel maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
And then she was ignoring the recall. I told him to boost, but she came back. It's a dung beetle.
Check that out, man.
Yeah, dung beetle. Love those. They clean up
That is so
a lot of the
cool.
poops. So this is an opportunity where I don't want to use her obedience to address this. I want to address the behavior, right? The reason she's not recalling is because she's distracted by something. Now she sees the dung beetle. But she hasn't made a decision yet. Can you move out of the way, Kevin?
Which normally she would have. She'd have already gone after it.
Right.
Right? So is this part of her impulse control is back?
Yes. So now we're shifting from obedience to behavior. I don't care about the recall right now. I care about this behavior.
Right.
So if she goes for the dung beetle, she'll get a correction. If she goes for the squirrel, she'll get a correction. Once I've interrupted that pattern of behavior and she's no longer worried about the dung beetle or the squirrel, then I can go back to the expectation of the recall. Does that make sense?
It absolutely does. Look at this.
A lot of people will try to just recall the dog while they're focused on something, and then the dog disobeys, doesn't recall, practices the behavior, and then you go, what the hell? I just paid you all this money for training. Why isn't it working?
Okay. Right.
Free. Yeah. Ats. Ats. So now she's looking for a different way. I'm gonna wait for the impulse, because if she decides to disengage, ats, ats. So I'm still waiting for her to decide. Ats. Ats! Knock it off. Yeah, pretty girl. There you go. That's my girl. So by not recalling her, I got her to stop engaging with the distraction and come back to me.
All by herself. Right.
This is what I mean. Obedience over, or behavior over obedience. If you just worry about the obedience, you're going to get disobedience and you're never going to address the behavior. And you also saw she got wrapped up with the e-collar. Knocked that shit off.
You did that. Okay.
You heard it, right?
I did hear it. What was it on?
I boosted her, so she's on a 5, so when I hit her, it was on a 10.
Okay.
And then it was just a directional tug, and that was enough to disrupt that pattern of behavior.
Okay, and how do you actually change it?
No. So, and we'll go over this. You haven't used it yet.
Right.
When it's on the 5 and you hit the black button, it'll hit whatever number this is on. When you boost on the red button, it's +5.
Got it.
Oh, nice.
So it does it automatically for you.
The other one
Oh, man.
that we had, you actually have to change it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
you lose
Seconds. Precious seconds.
Exactly.
And we need 1.3 seconds in order for her to associate the reward or the consequence with her behavior.
Right, so the timing was
Yeah.
always off. It was always off.
So that's crystal clear. Now let's check our math, right? Did she really learn, or was that just a fluke? Y'all can follow me, come on. Now, it could be that the squirrel fucked off. I don't know if it's still there or not. Either way, I like that much better than what she showed me originally.
Right.
And this is a loose leash walk. She doesn't need to be in a heel. She doesn't need to be right next to me. As long as she's not pulling me, doing anything distracting.
It doesn't have to be so militant.
And this is our little loop we do. So if you see how I'm holding the leash, thumb's always here. This is the anchor point. And then I kind of just let the leash go through my fingers, bring her back when I need to.
Is she on a flat or what is she on?
She's on her choke chain right now. Yeah. And that's just because the flat, she fights through it. With the chain, she's a bit more responsive. Prong collar wouldn't be great because of her fur. Okay, so look, she's coming back now. This is a different picture. You can tell she's already looking up. Does she make a better choice this time? She does. Atta girl.
Oh, yeah.
Right, we're being drugged all over the place. And, you know, it's reinforced what you let get reinforced, right?
Yep.
She's with us, she's used to doing that.
You know the saying, you get what you pet, basically that just means you get what you allow.
Right.
It's just you get what you pet rhymes. It sounds better.
Was that you, Daniel?
Yeah.
All you, baby, all you.
All me, baby. Put that shit on a t-shirt.
Right?
I'm gonna do a recall. I'm gonna back up. Kalani, come. Yes, pretty girl. There you go. Good. Pretty. Free.
Yeah, doing this has been real enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I get what I want. She gets what she wants. It's all good. Let me get a dog, Kevin. You got a hot dog? Let's go, pretty. Let's go. You're free. Yeah, you're free. Go. And so this is how we start to shape off-leash behavior. The long line's still there. I have 15 room for error. If she blows me off, I can step on the leash. Kalani, come. Yes. Yeah, this will be the last one. Good. Free. Let's go. Yeah, free one. She could have. She's like, nah, I'm showing off my mad skills. Yeah, she's gassed. I'm hot in this waffle hoodie, but we're about to be cold again in the building. Look at Aries is in the, he's like, who's over there? You see my dog? In the window, the husky's in the window, Aries is in the door. Kalani. Hey, kennel.
Awesome. That is awesome.
So compared to before training, is that same, worse, or better?
Oh, it's tons better. But the difference being, see, there's a learning curve with us, right? So when you have a trainer who tells you, okay, this is what I want you to do, and you do it, right? It's different when you have a trainer who, all right, I'm gonna show you what it looks like, right? And then I want you to repeat that. So this is much, much better. Because I'm a visual learner, you know, you can tell me what you already do, but if I don't see you doing it, that's hard for me to.
Seeing is believing.
Seeing is believing.
Well, I think the other part is knowing the difference between behavior modification and obedience.
Right.
And
That's
making
huge.
sure that you're not trying to use one to correct the other and vice versa. That, you know, with the squirrel, that needs to be behavior modification,
crazy.
not obedience.
Exactly. Because even when Kevin did his first rep before I took over, she came, but she was still very interested in the squirrel. And as soon as he released her, what did she do? We'll go right back to the squirrel. This is what I mean. Obedience is not going to address behavior. There's something called incompatible behaviors where the dog can't jump if you tell him to sit. But if the dog wants to jump more than they want to sit, now you're going to promote disobedience.
Right.
So there, in that concept, it's what did I do? I didn't tell her to come back to me. I told her, stop fucking with the squirrel. And then as soon as she realized I shouldn't mess with the squirrel, what did she do naturally? Come back to me.
Right.
Now I have the dog. Now I can move forward. And then when we did walk past the squirrel, sure, she looked, but she stayed. That's all she did. And then coming back, there was a little bit more interest because, oh yeah, I remember here. Remember, dogs learn in pictures. She's seeing the picture from a different perspective, coming back, not going to. But then she still decided to, okay, I'll go over here.
Right.
That's all I want, is for the dog to make a good, healthy decision and to understand what I want and what I don't want.
Right.
But I can see how easy it is for people to try and use obedience in that case and get very upset or very frustrated
Yeah.
when it doesn't
Work.
the way they want it to.
Right. 9 out of 10 trainers will tell you, give the dog a recall command, use your obedience. And then when it doesn't work, turn up the e-collar, correct harder. And now you're creating conflict and there's no clarity.
Right? You're not telling the dog why.
You're frustrated, the dog's frustrated, it's a shit show.
Right.
But when you make it crystal clear, when you have well-timed, appropriate levels of correction, and you address it in the moment, what's understood doesn't have to be explained.
Right.
And as long as she understands, we're good.
Yeah.
There was even a moment where she escalated because she got into that frantic, panicky mode, right? Nope, don't do that shit either. Oh, okay. All right, I guess I should just stop. Maybe I'm the drama.
And that, the difference being, I'm not coming back or recalling. I shouldn't be fucking with the squirrel.
Yep. Concepts of behavior. That when I talk about behavior, that's what we're doing. Instead of teaching the dog, leave it, drop it, off, out. Don't touch shit that's not yours. Teach them that concept and you don't have to teach a leave it out or a drop it. But people don't look at it that way, right? That's why when I see these dogs come out of these training programs with 15, 20 different commands, I'm like, doesn't make sense to me. How can it make sense to the dog? I teach 5 commands. Sit, down, place, come, heel, with an implied stay. Beyond that, I teach impulse control, I modify behaviors, concepts of behaviors, expectations, and that's how the two come together. Questions, comments, concerns?
Yes. So, just to repeat again, you don't teach leave it, so there's no reason for us to use it.
Because what does the dog have to do in order for you to give the command leave it?
She has to be doing something we don't want her to do.
Why the fuck would I allow her to do something I don't want to then give her a command to stop doing what I don't want?
Okay. Well,
That's my biggest problem with the leave it command is the dog has to do the thing you don't want it to do.
And by that point, it's already too late because they're into it. And now you're gonna stop me from doing what I wanna do? No wonder she acted the way that she did.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Well-
the squirrel is a prime example.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But also,
What have we always said about the squirrels? Leave it, leave it, leave it. And she blows us off.
so now what are you doing? You're labeling, get it, get it, get it. Because what does she do when you say leave it? She
Oh,
gets it.
She ignores us and she's like, now she's racing back and forth, just watching the squirrel.
So now there's another layer to that we haven't discussed. What is the reason for that behavior? Is that something you taught her to do? Or is that prey drive?
That's prey drive. She sees something and she immediately,
So now you're trying to address genetic predisposition to a natural instinct with an obedience command
Which is
that she only respects half the time when there's something in it for her. Does that make sense?
does.
has to be behavior modification.
So what you did with the e-collar, you interrupted.
Right.
Okay.
Right. I corrected the impulse. I didn't give feedback until she made the decision to go towards the squirrel. Then I pop, give her a directional get back here, and then I stopped because she stopped. And then she's thinking, well, maybe if I come through here and I do it from here, I'm okay. I wait till she does it. When she does it, can't do that either. Well, maybe here, well, fuck. Maybe I should leave the squirrel alone. Let me come back to Daniel.
Okay.
That's kind of the sequence of events that occurred.
Right. Okay.
And it looks different with every dog. You also have to understand level of correction. She was only at a 10 out of 100.
Right.
Most people would have turned it up to 30, 40, 50 because she disobeyed and blew off the recall 3 times. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And now you're overcorrecting, and now the dog can shut down because the dog doesn't understand that correction. But in that moment, that was a crystal clear understanding of why she was being corrected. How do I know? Because she stopped doing the thing I corrected for, and she offered me something that I like, which is coming back to me and checking in.
Okay. And that would be the same if the neighbor's dog races to their fence and now you've got a fighting situation going on, which we just restained our fence while she's been gone. So we can apply that same type of correction and interruption with the fence.
You can, but there's a caveat there because and we'll probably do this tomorrow because we're running out of time. We got to head out shortly. I'll have dogs in the fenced-in area, and I want to show you what that looks like because that's a little bit different. When she comes out, she is interested. She'll look and she'll kind of hop, step, and position herself.
Always still?
Yeah, and then maybe she'll kind of do like a little thing, but then she's like, all right, and then we keep walking.
Okay.
So I don't correct it because it's like marriage. You can look, but you can't touch. As long as you're not touching, I'm not going to slap you upside the head. You could look, but remember, we're going for a walk. So do what I want, do what I ask. No, there won't be no problems. And she's good about it. She doesn't go towards the dogs anymore. She does get a little interested, but I just wait her out a few seconds, and then she eventually looks at me, and I go, let's go, and then she comes on.
You wait her out, you don't do anything, you just wait and
Right.
see what she does.
Right. Because in that moment, she is overstimulated, over-aroused, and if I correct her or my level of correction is not appropriate, I could send her into behavior. In bite work, when we're working with these protection dogs, we put prong collars on the dogs and we nag them, little naggy corrections, because it pisses them off and it makes them bite harder, stronger, with more intensity. So the same thing can happen when you undercorrect and nag a dog while they're actively impulsive.
Right. Which is what I've been doing.
Right. So this is why at the peak, when she acts on the impulse, she's at the peak of her behavior. I can now match my correction to that level and bring her down. But as she's ramping up, by the time I apply my correction, she already ramped up. She's already here. And now my correction means nothing. But if I wait, okay, that's as high as she's gonna get, she comes down with me.
Okay.
And again, when you see it tomorrow, it'll make much more sense.
Oh, it makes perfect sense.
You can visualize it.
Because now I know what I've been doing wrong.
Right.
Well, the other is, she's not going out in the backyard unless she's on the leash.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So we can do the behavior modification. I mean, if you just open the door and let her go, it's really hard to do behavior modification.
Oh, yeah.
But also, all the things that lead up to that moment that she does the thing we don't want. Coming out of the crate, walking to the door, opening the door, getting to go outside. There's a number of opportunities to practice impulse control and have the dog pay attention to you. When you open the crate door, she's got to wait for you to say free. When you say free, she comes out. When you walk to the door, she's in heel. When you get to the door, she sits. When you open the door, she waits. She looks at you. Then you tell her free. All those things happen before she ever got outside. By the time she gets outside, she's going to have a much clearer understanding and be more level-headed. Versus you're halfway opening the door and she's already halfway out the door. She runs to the door and jumps and barks, let me out, let me out. You don't even get to open the door, she bolts through, and then the first thing she does is run to that fence. Do you see how the behavior just the whole time?
Yeah.
So if you do all those things and you provide the structure that you need, by the time she gets out there, maybe the impulse is gone. Maybe she doesn't even have the feeling to do it. Maybe she goes and checks it out a little bit more innocently. Right. And then if she does react, boom, it's much easier to get her back because she's already in a clear head, a clear space.
Okay.
All right?
Yep.
1250. Yeah, so there's not enough time for another rep. Today, Kalani's owner started to understand the importance of prioritizing behavior over obedience, and I hope you did too. In the absence of command, what does your dog default to? And when obedience fails, what do you default to? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. As always, I appreciate the support. I'll see you on the next one. Free.